This is Fano from An Hour with the Wolfpack. I'm here with my segment, Steppin Out of Babylon, and it's day 11. And on day 11, I pretty much did the basic diet. I did a kefir smoothie and just a bunch of liquids. I don't know. Day 11, I would say more mind games. And I think a bigger realization is because I was watching this video and this guy was talking about like how water when it's like at a wave format, like in the ocean, it turns into like something else. But like he was basically saying there's like this test where they gave these rats like tons and tons and tons of like radiation where they would pretty much like die. And then they had this special water that was basically like H2O, but it's, something else was changed in it. And it supposedly cures like radiation. And they gave this water to these mice, and like within a day, like all their radiation went away. And so I guess what trips me out is like the more cleaner I get, I watch like all these like videos, and people like think they're probably like made up or crazy, but this is like real like scientist guy, or they're real scientists, but are people like study these certain fields. And I don't know, it just trips me out that you can say it's fake, but in reality it's probably real. And the more the more of these things you watch, the more you realize like how much they're keeping secret, or just keeping stuff not in the public eye. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you want to say it's bullshit, I always like to come back to just like food. And you can just realize how if you go eat hot dogs or hamburgers and pizza for every day, all day for like a month and see how you feel, or 3 months, and then go eat some salads and some smoothies and for 3 months and see how you feel, and just compare the difference and see how much energy you have and all that stuff. So I think if you want to say a lot of stuff's bullshit, you can just always look at food and see how much bullshit they feed you. And there is a truth to food, just like there's a truth to the daily activities we go through, and technology, and cures for things, and ways to heal things, and all that. So I don't know, but a big thing on day 11 is you kind of think more about how no one eats right, and you kind of feel like you're like the only person out there eating right, and everyone's eating like bad. And I guess it does. I guess I talked about this yesterday, but it does like make you feel like kind of like lonely. But I guess that's the battle, like why people give in within 2 weeks, is because it's really like a big mental game, and it's like kind of so easy just to be like, oh, I'm gonna eat a bunch of crap, and be okay with that. So I don't know, diets are like mental games. They're not really a physical. Or maybe that's what addictions are. It's just like all like your brain going all haywire about what to do and what not to do. Oh, but another thing I realize is that when you're on a really good diet, you don't really you can't go out to eat for one. Uh, Number two, people seem pretty boring because you realize like all people do is kind of eat a bunch of crap and they talk about a bunch of crap and it's not really relevant. And then if you go like sit there and go like, well, I eat this and that now, and I don't know, like I find this interesting now or that interesting, people are like, oh, that's boring or that's weird or that's not real. And it's just like why they're eating like French fries or they're eating or drinking a beer or doing something that's like just killing themselves, and they're sitting there telling you like all this information that you find out it's all bullshit. It's just kind of hysterical and funny, and it just gets crazier and crazier as the days go by because your brain just starts flipping out because it's just like, what is this now? Like, where do we live? What is this all like? What are we doing here? Like, why are we all just, working all the time and doing nothing? People work 80% of the week or 70% of the week just to spend that other 20 to 30% just like eating bad or kind of like detoxing or dealing with their stress throughout the week on their days off, and then it's back to it. And I kind of always like to think about it. It's kind of like it's like being in the hamster cage, and you're on the hamster wheel, but we're like a step beyond that. It's like we don't know we're on the hamster wheel, but yet we can go on and off on the hamster wheel, and nothing's forcing us to go on the hamster wheel, but we go on the hamster wheel 70% of the time. And then we go off and eat a bunch of stuff that we normally don't eat. And so, like, another thing that tripped me out, well, I forgot to bring it up, but a couple of days ago, I was watching some, like, Babylonian program on, I don't know, like, ABC or something, like, during the day. Like, on the weekends, they have, like, weird TV shows. But it's about, like, the zoos. And it was really funny because they're talking about how they feed, I forgot what it was, like not a woodpecker, a porcupine. And they're like saying like how they have to feed it like its natural food so it stay healthy. And the thing that tripped me out is they go to explain like, oh, in the zoos we have to like hide things and we have to like cover up things so it feels natural for the animals. So the animals have to like naturally use their instincts or they'll lose it. And I don't know if they'll go crazy or just have bad genes. But what tripped me out is I was thinking about like humans and how we don't use any of our instincts as far as food goes or anything, but yet we kind of do it for animals we keep in zoos, but for us we don't at all. And it just really trips me out like how if majority of people in the city, which we are in a big zoo, but if all the people in the city were put out in nature, how many of those people don't have natural instincts anymore and don't even know how to live and pretty much would die? And so like really tripped me out because also what I was thinking is how people watch this show or kids or adults and they just go, oh, that's interesting. They teach the animals how to have their instincts left. And they don't even like think about consciously applying it to themselves. So that's how gone we are. And I'll end that for day 11 of Stepping Out of Babylon. And this is Fano from An Hour with the Wolf Pack. And I hope everyone lives with love and compassion and self love, because if you don't love yourself, you can't love anyone else.